Hey, Daisy Ray, it's time to do book club. You gonna come do book club? I don't think she is, guys. She's far more interested in taking a nap. That's okay. Griffin is right here. He'll do book clubbing with me instead, huh, baby? All right, he's gonna take over the book clubs. Yeah. All right, well, our mascot's taking a nap, so welcome back. I am Renee. I'm the children's librarian at Salem Public Library in Salem, Ohio. This is Reading with Ray, our virtual book club for kids in kindergarten to 3rd grade, though all ages are welcome to join us. We are currently reading Ivy and Bean by Annie Barrows. So big thanks to Annie Barrows and Sophie Blackall and Chronicle Books Publishing for allowing us to use this book this way and share it with everybody. This book is available on Hoopla. So download your e-copy, your digital copy, so that you can follow along. Sophie Blackall's illustrations are wonderful. So I do turn the book so you can see them, but it's a lot better if you can see them yourself. Where we left off yesterday, Ivy and Bean live across the cul-de-sac from each other, and they're really not interested in being friends. We've only gotten Bean's side of the story, but she thinks that Ivy is nice, and therefore she's boring. But when she was trying to play a trick on her sister, she ended up pretending to be a ghost and talking to Ivy as a ghost. So she had taped a string to one of her sister's $20 bills, and she was trying to fool her with it and hiding from her sister, which was really not a very nice trick. So here we go. I think this is chapter 4. Bean meets Ivy. Bean peeked out between the leaves. Nancy hadn't seen the $20 bill. She was standing on it. Thought Bean. Her plan was a bust, but if she could keep on being a ghost, maybe she could scare Nancy a little. I'm going to wrap my fingers around your neck too, she howled in her spooky voice, and I'm going to spit in your ear. No, you're not, said Nancy. She didn't sound scared. She reached into the bush and yanked Bean out. Stop yelling. And that's when she saw the $20 bill. Hey, she said, where did you get the money? You don't have $20. Then she saw the string. I see what you're doing, burp face. I bet this is my money too. Then she picked up the bill and looked at it. You stole my money. I'm telling Mom. She began to pull Bean toward the front door. Uh-oh, thought Bean. None of her ideas were working out today. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. And you know what? Let me go. I'm going to get up and go grab my sanitizer real quick. Okay. Sorry about that. Can't be too careful with those germs right now. Okay. All right. Uh-oh, thought Bean. None of her ideas were working out today. Now she had 2 choices. She could go inside with Nancy and face Mom, or she could run. So Bean fell over on the ground and started to wail. My ankle! Ow, ow, ow! My ankle's killing me! It's sprained! Nancy frowned. You didn't sprain your ankle, you faker! She said, but she bent down to take a look. There they are. Nancy's dragging Bean out of the bush. That was all Bean needed. She stood up and ran. She ran out of her yard and around Pancake Court until she found herself in front of Ivy's house. Oh, you are in trouble now, Bernice Blue, yelled Nancy. I'm going to tell Mom. Bernice was Bean's real name. People only used it when they were yelling at her. Bean couldn't help it. She just had to stick her tongue out and say, then she just had to turn around and wiggle her behind at Nancy. That's it, Nancy yelled. I'm getting Mom. And she stormed into the house. Oh, look at Ivy. kind of rotten. She's being really rotten here. For a minute, Bean felt happy. She loved making Nancy mad. But when Nancy was gone, Bean began to worry. Mom hated it when she did more than one bad thing at a time. Bean counted. Taking the money, lying about her ankle, leaving the yard without asking, and wiggling her behind at Nancy. 4 things. 5 if you count on pretending to be a ghost. Bean was going to be in big trouble. How big? No dessert for sure. No videos for a week, maybe. But it could be even worse. Her mom might send her to her room for the rest of the day. Bean hated that. Hide. Bean looked up. She had forgotten all about Ivy. Ivy was still sitting on her porch. She had been watching the whole time. And she knew that the ghost of Mr. Killop was really Bean inside the bush. Bean expected her to be mad, but she didn't look mad. She looked excited. Hide, she said again. Thought Bean. Maybe boring Ivy was right. If her mom couldn't find her, she couldn't send her to her room. If she stayed out until dark, her parents would stop being mad and start being worried. Her mom might say, "Oh, my poor little Bean, my poor little baby." Then they'd be so happy to see her when she came limping home that they probably wouldn't punish her at all. They might even let her have seconds on dessert. That settled it. Oh, I think that's a bad plan. Okay, she said to Ivy. Where? Follow me. Ivy came down the stairs and slipped behind a bush growing against her house. Bean followed her and crouched down under the wide leaves. No, get out. This is just the beginning, said Ivy. I'm going to take you to a secret spot. This isn't it? Asked Bean. The bush looked pretty good to her. No, this is the passageway. Ivy pressed her back against the house and edged along. Bean edged along too, the wall scraping her back. They turned a corner and edged some more. Ivy's house was big. There. Squeeze in between the bush and the house. Halt, said Ivy. Bean halted. Now, said Ivy, close your eyes and I'll take you to the secret spot. What? How come I have to close my eyes? Because it's a secret, said Ivy. Duh. Bean couldn't argue with that. Ivy looked like a wimp, but she didn't talk like one. Bean closed her eyes. She felt Ivy take her by the elbow, and together they went down some steps. A door opened. More steps. Cool, damp air blew in Bean's face. Then they went up some steps. Another door opened, and they were outside again. Ivy was taking Bean through some tall grass. Shh, said Ivy suddenly. Bean froze. Crouch down, said Ivy. Bean crouched. There was a silence. Okay, you can get up now. What happened? Asked Bean. Spies, said Ivy. Bean figured Ivy was probably making that up. Now you can open your eyes, Ivy said. They're sneaking into the hidden place. Wherever Ivy's taken Bean. Alright, I think this is chapter 5, I believe. Ivy hatches a plan. Bean opened her eyes. They were in a corner of Ivy's backyard. There was a big rock on one side and a small tree on the other, and between them was a perfectly round puddle. This is the secret spot, asked Bean. She had expected something more secret-looking, like a cave. Yes, they'll never find you here, said Ivy. You can stay for as long as you want. I'll bring you food. Oh, all right. Ivy might turn out to be a pretty good friend here. She's going to help her out. But I only need to stay until dinner time, Bean said. Ivy looked disappointed. I thought you wanted to run away. Oh, I do, but only until dinner. Oh. Excuse me, I need some more. Bean felt bad about not staying. Wouldn't you get in trouble if your parents found out I was living here, she asked. They don't come out here much, Ivy said. My mom is afraid of ticks. You probably don't ever get in trouble anyway, said Bean, feeling glum. I'm always in trouble. I do too get in trouble, said Ivy. No, you don't, Bean said. You read books all the time. You can't get in trouble for reading books. Ivy said, I will get in trouble. Really huge trouble if I do what I want to do, what I plan to do. Bean waited. Well, what do you plan to do? Ivy looked all around before she whispered, spells, magic, potions. Really? You mean like a witch? Yes, well, not yet, but I'm going to be a witch, said Ivy. Her eyes were gleaming. I'm learning how. Bean looked at Ivy's black bathrobe. It was kind of dirty now, and some of the little pieces of paper had fallen off. Bean saw that the papers were cut into star and moon shapes. Bean also saw that Ivy didn't know how to draw stars. Some of them had 4 points, and some only had 3, and the moons didn't look so good either. "Is that a witch's robe?" she asked. "Yeah," said Ivy. "Did you make it yourself?" asked Bean. "Yep." "It's nice," said Bean politely. It didn't look like a witch's robe. It looked goofy. "I didn't know you could learn to be a witch. I thought you just had to be one." "That's what most people think," said Ivy. "But I'm learning. I probably know more than most born witches my age. I just learned this spell that makes you invisible." "Wow, Bean could use that for sure. Will you teach me? That would be great." "I haven't done it yet," Ivy admitted. "You've got to have a dead frog." "Oh, it would be really mean to kill a frog." "Yeah. That's why I dug this pond." Ivy pointed to the puddle with her gold stick. "I'm hoping a frog will come here and die." Bean didn't mention that it looked like a puddle. "Wow," she said. "What's the stick for?" "That's my wand," said Ivy. Bean couldn't help it. She burst out laughing. "That's not a wand. It's just a stick painted gold." "It is too, a wand." Now Ivy looked mad. "And you better watch out or I'll use it on you." Bean stopped laughing. "Use it how?" "I'll cast the dancing spell on you. You won't be able to stop dancing for the rest of your life. Like this." And she started jumping up and down and kicking out her legs and waggling her arms. "Could you really?" asked Bean. Ivy stopped dancing. "Maybe. I was just going to test it when you started yelling about being a ghost." "Who are you going to test it on?" asked Bean. Oh, there's Ivy dancing. Ivy's face turned red. "Nobody," she said. Bean could tell she was lying. "Come on, who?" Ivy's face got redder. "Come on, tell me," said Bean. Ivy looked at the dirt. "You," she said in a low voice. "Me?" yelled Bean. "What did I ever do to you?" "I'm sorry," said Ivy. She did not look sorry. "That's okay," said Bean. There was a pause. "My mother keeps on saying what a nice girl you are," Ivy said. "She's always telling me I should play with you. It's driving me nuts." Bean couldn't believe it. "That's what my mother says about you. That's so funny. But you're not nice at all. You're a witch." Ivy giggled. "You're not very nice either. You were doing that ghost thing in the bush." Bean was embarrassed. "The part about the icy fingers was good," said Ivy. "What were you doing in there anyway?" Bean sat down on the rock. "I was waiting for Nancy. That's my sister. She's a total pain in the kazoo. I put $20 on a string and I was going to pull it out of her hand when she reached down to pick it up." Ivy nodded. "Is that why she got mad at you?" "No, she got mad at me because it was her $20. Bean felt glum again. Ivy saw that Bean was worrying. "Are you going to be in trouble?" "Yeah, probably. I'm not supposed to mess with her money," Bean thought. "You don't have a going back in time spell, do you?" "No, those are hard," said Ivy. She looked at her frog. "I wish I had a dead..." Looked at her pond. "I wish I had a dead frog." "That would be good," said Bean. "But wait a second. What about the dancing spell? Could you put it on Nancy?" "So she'll dance for the rest of her life? How is that going to get you out of trouble?" Ivy asked. "It's not," said Bean. "But it would be really funny." I was imagining Nancy dancing for the rest of her life. We are going to stop there for today. All right, Ivy decided to make her own witch robe. So she used a bathrobe and she glued paper on it. So my activity for you today is to grab a piece of paper and your crayons, markers, colored pencils, whatever, and design your own witch robe or wizard robe, whatever you would like. If you do this activity, please take a picture of it, share it in the comments so I can see it, and say it is. That's Friday afternoon, right? Yep, I think so. So I'm wishing you guys a wonderful, happy, healthy weekend. And I miss everybody. I hope to see everybody really, really soon. But until we can be together in person again, I hope you are enjoying the book clubs. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.